All listed on there, right?
I think we got them all.
Do we?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, I muted everyone and you guys, I can hear you guys good.
Did you hear us?
Yeah.
They can hear us.
Can anybody hear us? Nobody can hear us.
No, they can. Unless they turn up their volume, but it sounds good.
What was that? As long as they can hear us, can we hear them?
They're all muted.
Oh, I see.
Derek muted everybody. but
Yeah, because I want to make sure I can hear everyone.
So how do we start?
Say bonjour.
Anishna. What was that? As long as they. Is there anybody on the other end of the phone?
I got you, Chief. I can hear you.
Okay, good. All right. Burton, can we start then? And perhaps you can lead us off with a quick prayer? As long as they- Is there anybody on the other end of the phone? Oh, my
I got you, Chief.
Okay, good. All right. Burton, can we start then? And perhaps you can lead us off with Is there anybody on the other end of the
Yeah, so that
I
comes.
got you, Chief.
I think we need to do some maybe a little bit of technology explanations first to say where everybody's mute buttons are, where the chat is, and everything else, just so that we can all be on the same page.
Tech man
Yeah, I let Jared know.
Well, they muted me, so I unmuted myself.
Technology explanations first to say where everybody's mute buttons are, where the chat is, and everything else, just so that we can all be on the same page.
Prayed 3 times. Well,
Mine's on a loop. My audio is getting looped.
First,
mine's unmuted.
on the same
Mine's on a loop. My audio is getting looped.
Unmuted.
Hello?
That's the echo from there. And you're just.
It was a longer delay.
Yeah,
there's-
It was
okay now.
10-second delay.
Okay. Wonder if it's okay now because I muted Elaine.
Hello?
There
Same,
it
there it
is.
is.
There it is. 20-second delay.
That's
It was a longer delay.
Yeah, there's.
10-second delay.
Okay. Wonder if it's
Well,
okay.
we've been-
No,
I don't know why it's doing that, but.
there shouldn't be a delay. I should be projecting out and hearing it and,
There it
same
is.
here. It's all assembled back into the main room.
We've been-
I don't know, there's some bugs in the system. There shouldn't be a delay. I should be projecting out and hearing it and,
Okay, good.
same here.
If they do,
It's
stop.
all assembled back into the main room.
Someone's.
Oh, so that's what I'm doing. After you
I don't know, there's some bugs in the system. Yeah,
10-second delay.
Yeah.
we shouldn't be doing that.
We'll have to just mute everyone and then whoever's speaking.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way. Do that.
I'm back in the boardroom, just wearing masks.
Just let them know you're gonna mute everybody, and then Alicia will come around, and if you need help on how to unmute,
Okay.
get Alicia's attention.
Hopefully we'll be out of here by midnight.
We can't seem to mute Inez's phone. Oh, it says it's muted.
Did Burton say a prayer yet?
I haven't heard it.
He was set.
I'm waiting for everybody to be online. want me to?
He's muted now.
Derek muted him.
You're on mute now. Let me hear my feedback.
Okay. We'll trust somebody hears it, okay? Thank you, Lord. We thank you for this day and for each one gathered. We pray, Holy Spirit, that you would help this technology. And most of all, we pray that you would help the community. We pray comfort and strength to the community members with this new lockdown coming in throughout the province. And we pray that you would give peace to each one that's grieving. And Lord, we ask your blessing upon this meeting, upon each order of business, that you would help us with understanding and wisdom to decide on each issue. We pray your blessing upon each one, each family member represented, and we give you all the praise in your name, Jesus. Amen.
How do we pull up the agenda?
This is horrible connection.
My picture's bigger than yours.
I can barely hear the prayer.
Is yours on mute or unmute?
Yeah.
I did print, well, I just printed the agenda items, not the package.
Rather bulky?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm back on it.
We'll start with mine. No, I'll look for it. Once you log
Okay.
in.
I can't get in. Smaller.
Pretty small. So click the item, the blue, and it'll come up on the right hand side.
I gotta go over the agenda first. Okay, we're trying to get on board with the agenda here. Has everybody got their agenda rolled up?
Yep, got mine up.
Okay, good. Are there any questions on the agenda? If not, I'll have a mover and seconder for it. Something. This isn't working. I see Inez wandering around there. Oh, she's over there. Hello?
Hello,
Got it down. All right. Make this thing work. Oh, I can hear them in the next room.
I think people are getting booted out of the system.
Can I have a mover and seconder for the agenda?
I didn't hear what's on the agenda.
Y'all had a chance to read it.
Well, I read it, but I didn't know if anybody else added to it.
I don't think so, no. No, there's been no additions. It's moved by Ron. A seconder, please. Oh, wait, he's trying to get an addition. Rod. I can't. What do I do? Touch this?
Unmute yourself, Ron, bottom left-hand corner.
We need an operator like they have in the United Nations.
Right.
Make this work.
I have no idea.
Make it work.
We'll need Derek to unmute him then.
How did you move over there now? How come we don't see the other people now?
They disabled their camera.
Mute. Oh, okay, that works this. Oh, here we go. Oh,
No.
okay, that's who's muted.
Sorry, what issue are you having?
We're trying to get,
Just
we're
Ron
connecting this
unmuted,
with Ron here.
and we get Chief.
Slow too. That keeps going off and on.
Does it? Yeah. Yeah.
So I can't really monitor any of it.
Do you want to make us the host?
Sure, yep. I do that.
You're really close that door.
You better get some Windex in your screen. Was I touching that?
Yeah. I'm gonna get her logged in here. You're logging in again.
I ain't touching that thing.
I'm not able to hear anything either, so.
I'm under the impression half
Oh,
of
hey,
them.
Ron. Hi, Ron.
Hello,
There he is.
Hi, Ron.
who's you?
Did you want to add something to the agenda?
Yeah, I'd like to add a couple things, I guess.
Okay. Where's the agenda?
Who adopted the agenda?
No, not yet.
Okay, Ron, go ahead.
There you go.
So I'll move it, and I'd like to add a couple things to the agenda.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Is there a seconder?
What are your issues?
Well, one is the internet, obviously.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
And then I guess what are we going to do with this COVID? I don't know if we're quite ready with all the current things that are going on, and I have a couple ideas as well. And then somebody asked me to bring forward about possibly serving our off reserve membership. We had a food bank here, but we couldn't get to a lot of our off reserve. And I don't know how our food bank is right now, if we're stocked, ready, and what. So it was just an idea and a thought, and it comes with a cost, and it minimizes people going to the store as well. Off reserve.
Okay,
Do we still need a seconder for the agenda?
with the inclusion of Ron's discussion points, I believe James is going to give us an update, I guess, on our close down or shut down situation, and we'll take it from there. Okay, it's been moved in second. Who seconded? Marcia, did you?
I'll second.
Yes.
Val.
Yes, Chief, I'll second that with those additions.
Okay, we have a mover and seconder. It's been moved by Ron, second by Marcia. All those in favor?
Aye.
Right.
I assume it's been carried. Carried. Okay, moving on to, are there any declarations of conflict of interest on any of the items? If not, we'll move on to the minutes, regular council minutes of December 8th. You should have copies. Which is it?
She's gonna print you a full agenda.
Oh, okay. In the interim, what do I do?
Can you use this?
Because I
You got
can't pull up the items in
Right.
the minutes.
Oh, does that other computer work behind you?
This thing?
Yeah.
It's not hooked up.
Oh,
It's not taking your password or what's happening?
Yeah, it's not taking my password.
so
I
tricky.
I don't know what,
Yeah, he's having trouble logging in with his laptop.
Derek got into it. Maybe even not use a password.
Oh, right.
There's a quick,
Oh.
somebody should told me that. I wouldn't have spent 3 hours trying to get into that.
What was it?
It's very simple.
ADHD.
You just hit one of those keys on the side. Which one was it?
Return.
Enter? Return?
Oh,
All right. Okay, we're dealing with the council minutes of December 8th.
Move them.
Okay, here we
Chief,
go.
point of clarification. On December the 8th, 5.2, a number was declared a conflict. Does that conflict still stand for approval of the minutes?
No.
Didn't hear that.
She's speaking to this declarations of conflict
Okay,
and how it should.
yeah, okay.
Does it still stand? The answer is yes.
Yes,
Okay, so
any questions on the minutes? Any further questions?
I said I'd already move them. Yeah. I'll move those, chief.
Okay, the minutes have moved for December 8th. The second, please.
I'll second.
Second by Valerie. All those in favor?
Aye.
I declare the minutes carried for December 8th. Moving on. All right, I'll go back here. Oh, that's the wrong one here. December 8th minute. Council meeting.
And that should be December 9th.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how come there's 2 minutes for December 8th?
One is December 9th.
Okay, is that the second set on page 13?
I don't know, I'm confused now.
Page 21.
Page 21.
21?
You're gonna have to find it here for me.
Oh, okay, I see it.
Oh, I see what happened.
You need my help, James?
Continuing.
Oh,
I'm not host, so I can't unmute anyone.
Oh, I see. All right, is your internet any better over there?
Yeah, it seems
So
to be.
why don't you make yourself the host here?
Who do you want me to unmute?
Whoever needs to speak. Okay, there you go. So you just,
Okay, wouldn't it just be those who are joined together? I'm muting, like,
Like you would only be on and you would be muted and only someone out here.
Yeah.
And then,
Only one per room.
right,
Yeah.
So we're on December 9th now?
Mhm.
Okay. Everybody's got December 9th?
Yep.
Okay.
He unmuted us, or muted us. Ooh, too much feedback. Turn off your sound. You both of you got your sound up? Might want to mute one of them. Just keep one alive. I don't know if Code's got his on.
Mute.
Okay.
Because we won't get no echo.
that's why I'm in here.
I'm muted now.
You're muted?
Code, you're unmuted right now.
Oh, unmuted.
There you go. Now you're muted.
Okay, and I'll turn mine on. So you can hear. You hear?
The planning session was held on the 9th and 10th. Okay. Okay, for the minutes for December 9th and 10th, they were the planning session. And we do have a report from Lucille, and we'll have to distribute that as additional information as the report came in this afternoon. So we'll have to get that out.
Feedback.
My speaker down.
You got to mute it. Yeah, I got mine muted.
See where your volume is? We'll get to the end.
I muted it. It is mute.
Is it?
No, your volume button.
That's
There's a
right.
difference between.
Ron, you're unmuted.
Oh, it's there.
Yeah, you're on.
Can I have that mover and second?
Should be good now.
The planning session, with the understanding a report is coming regarding the 2-day session from Lucille. This has to be circulated.
I will move. Tyler.
Tyler moving?
Moved by Tyler, seconder please. Second by Ron, all those in favor? Your internet connection is unstable. All those in favor?
Aye.
Oh.
I declared the minutes for the planning sessions for December 9th and 10th carried. This is really cumbersome.
So we're down to committee. Do you see that?
Where's that? Committee?
So you'll want to go back on the browser.
Yeah.
Probably just press backspace. Or did it open it, the file? So just press the little X up there.
This one here?
Yeah. Just that little X on the right. Yeah.
Oh, Neva is excused.
Pardon me?
Neva is excused, and this is the land-based learning program task force. This next item you're looking for?
Okay, 4.1?
Yes.
Okay. We're down to 4.1, committee minutes, land-based learning program task force. Oh, I hit something. Okay. Lyle? No, sir. No. Anybody want to speak to those minutes?
Hello, any questions I can answer?
Oh, there he is. That was clear. How's the work progressing?
We did good. We didn't have everybody there that was delegated, but we moved along. We set priorities. We set the next meeting for this coming Friday. And we're looking into getting the surveyors in place and make sure we own where we own, what the property lines are. So
Has there been any discussion, I guess, concerning the moving of the clubhouse?
that was discussed, but we want to find out how much property we own there first, because a lot of that property doesn't belong to us. Across the road where the punter shack is and where the old kennels are, that doesn't belong to us. All we have there is the road allowance through that area. So there's some discussion at that point. We're going to get lands to look at it and come up with the latest surveys.
Okay. Is she asking, is Elaine asking a question?
Yeah.
I didn't hear.
So she's muted.
We also kind of split up into another group, the priority of funding that's going to be looked at. Neva and another counselor is going to look at helping Alisa with her proposals. And Marsha, myself, and I think Keenan, we're going to look at the clubhouse and some of the physical work that's got to be done there. Fixing the break walls, preparing the roads, get some estimates on cost.
Just to chime in, I was going to be one of the ones helping her with funding proposals and stuff and getting the wording down right and everything. I'm actually going to be meeting with her at 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Anything else?
Even though we're working in two separate groups, we're going to be meeting together to keep everybody on the same page.
Okay, good. Anything further? If not, I can have a mover and seconder for those minutes.
I'll move it, Chief.
Moved by Lyle, seconder, please. Second by Marcia.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Stop.
Carried.
I can't talk.
Pardon me?
I can't talk online, so I was trying to,
You there?
I was trying to.
Elaine can't talk on her, so she's getting assistance.
So I want to know if I can be added to the task force.
You want to be on it?
Yeah,
No problems.
okay.
Yeah,
Because I know Tyler has a hard time getting there.
yeah, okay. Just a note, Elaine wants to be added to the task force.
I thought she was trying to speak.
I couldn't hear her, but I think she's trying to say something.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Elaine.
But and I are
That was interesting. A little mellotron in there.
Chief,
Yes,
can we revisit the
lost you. We lost you. Right in mid-sentence.
who are the individuals on the task force? Because it looks like they're going to branch into 3 different directions.
Neva, Lyle, and Valerie.
Yeah. Neva, Lyle, and Valerie so far, plus Elaine. And Tyler.
Okay.
Did you want to join them, Marcia?
Wait, where am I? Can you hear me?
Yep.
I'll join it.
I would be interested, yes.
Okay. Anybody else? Besides Tyler? Elaine, there's a one.
Lee is trying to be added too, but you can't hear him.
I can't hear him, that's correct. Lee, you're on board. We still can't hear you. Oh. Alicia's coming your
This
way.
is crazy.
Oh, there it
It
is.
was on it was on me. I just did, but I can't. It's cutting out every.
Can you hear through Lee's computer? All right.
It's, yeah, well, unless yours is muted, right?
Is it- are you ready?
Yours isn't. but-
I lost my train of thought now. Where are we?
They need a motion to add the new members.
Who are they?
It's Elaine and Lee
Okay.
and Marcia.
Okay. We've dispensed with those task force minutes on? I asked. Do we approve of the task force minutes? Okay. Can I have a motion then to approve of the additional members to the task force? Namely Marcia, Elaine, Lee.
And Lee.
Yeah.
Mover, please.
I'll move it.
Moved by Cody, seconder, please. Second by Cody. Ron? All those in favor? Are there any objections? I see two. No objections. Carry. All right.
Is that us?
Not me, I'm on mute.
That's you, Elaine.
Are you on mute?
Mhm.
Hello? Did somebody put me on mute?
Burton.
I'm gonna lose him.
We can hear you, Valerie.
What?
You're there.
You know what? I second two of those motions and nobody heard me.
That's right, we didn't hear you.
That's correct.
So I was on mute or something.
It's fixed, obviously.
It's fixed now?
Chief's report?
Moving on. Wait, there's special council meeting on. No. Chief's report. 5.1. All right, where's the gas station items here? Right here. Right here.
Don't hit the X.
Oh,
So hit that X.
hit that X.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And now scroll down a bit.
All right. Gas station meeting minutes, number 1. We have progress on the gas station development. We've been listening to services of First Nations Engineering to help out with the project management to get us across the finish line. We had a meeting on December 21st, just before the break. They had one, in my absence, I tried to get on the meeting, but they wouldn't let me. They said, let us take care of it. And I let them take care of it. So here's what they did is basically had a update from Claybar Contracting Limited and their meeting highlights. Kevin made introductions. That's Kevin Martin. Kevin made introductions and provided some background on First Nation engineering to Claybar or Clayburn? Claybar. And then Brian provided to Kevin a briefing on where the project stood. Any questions on those particular minutes?
I just have one question. I'd like to know when this work is going to be completed. It's Val.
Valerie, that's a very good question. We have heard that from preliminary discussions with Kevin Martin, that it may be the first part of March.
Okay, good news.
Okay.
Will there be any delay in the construction due to the COVID restrictions?
There's a lot associated with the COVID restrictions and the changeover in personnel and chief and council, et cetera, has all affected that, and we're getting it back on track. I've got a, as you recall, the project that left us without a project manager. Distance Services of Dale Jacobs to come on board to complete the project. He's on board now, and we're moving along. We had a meeting just yesterday, I believe, with a potential supplier for gasoline, and the Kevin Martin Group is progressing with the remaining items. Ron, is there anything you want to share?
You're on mute, Ron.
Oh. That must be interesting what he's saying.
Ron, you're muted.
Ron, you're on mute.
Start from the beginning.
Here we go. So as the chief stated, he hit most of the things on point. Many things that have happened, COVID, delay of services and goods and delivery of things. Also as personnel, as you heard the chief state, there's I'm laughing because I can hear echo right now. Sorry. But there's been a long, I guess, many different issues, fiber, point of sale, hardware, the list goes on. And just basically having a project manager with engineering background. And so it's been fortunate the chief has secured KL Martin to head this up and get it going. So it's pretty much the KL Martin Engineering Group and Dale working at this. So it should move forward pretty quickly, just depending on delivery of other services that we need. So that's about it. And we'll also have, I guess, another consultant looking at setting us up in the variety or the store part and other setup around the building on how we plan on having traffic come in and out of the gas station. Which
Chief, I have a question. It's Marcia. Are these costs additional costs, or like what's our budget like? Are we within budget or?
It's within the budget. It's a lot, the way I read the budget, it's a lot less than what we had identified for the project manager, JC.
I can't hear you.
I must be muted. Oh. Marcia, what I had said is that it is in budget.
It's within budget.
Okay,
That's the bottom line, I guess.
So
thank
my
you.
question, getting into the new restrictions, is there any going to be on, as of Thursday, they're closing down all non-essential construction province-wide? Does that include, like, are we considered essential or non-essential within
George is
those?
going to address that.
Tyler, in the
not
last
much mentioned.
provincial shutdown in April, gas stations were allowed to proceed because it was considered essential, and council did allow it to proceed. So we don't know whether that will change. There's the possibility that the province could issue new guidelines, but it would be, at this point in time, the prerogative of council, unless Ontario issues something different, in which case we would just fall out to either the council level or the emergency operations control group. So based on what we know now, council could allow it to proceed.
I have a question. Have we decided on who the gas supplier will be?
No, we haven't done that. That'll be part of Kevin's task, I guess, in terms of calling for tenders for the supplier.
Okay.
It's still open for consideration.
You're on mute, Elaine.
Unmute. Am I unmute?
Yep, you're good now.
Okay. Is there a chance that we can get a supplier that gives us points?
That's one of the points I've been addressing with the people I've been meeting with. There's a difficulty, I guess, in terms of getting that type of arrangement there. And I've stressed it with the group that we met with yesterday. And I also stressed this with Kevin Martin, I guess, in terms of the tendering process, that we want a points program, a points reward program, so that we have something that's a little bit more than the operation down the street.
Yes.
Yeah. Plus, it attracts a lot of the off-reserve customers. If you know the experience that the Sarnia Bands operation has in terms of drawing in particular, those customers that have those cards, I guess. Any other questions? We're pushing forward with it. Did I ask for more? Did I? No. Can I have a mover and seconder for those minutes? Moved by Elaine, second by Ron. All those in favor? That is carried. Okay, associated with that, can I have council approval for the management contract and proposal from First Nation Engineering so they can continue and I can pay them? Elaine? Moved by Elaine, second by Ron. All those in favor?
I have a question. I'm having difficulty hearing the chief. So I'm getting behind here. Is this contract with KL Martin?
Yep.
I just have a question regarding Article 5, fees and disbursements.
Yep.
There didn't seem to be a cap. It was wide open.
There is a total project amount there, though, isn't it, around 25,000?
Sorry, Marcia, this is the contract with First Nations Engineering, the agreement.
Right, it's on page 85 of 246 pages.
Okay, which number in the contract?
Article 5, 4.2.2.
Oh, I
Okay,
see.
all right. Because I knew the agreement wasn't that long.
Oh.
I didn't have any problems in the deal.
Project budget is 13,000 and 5,000 for identification of outstanding requirements.
Is that the gas station one or is that the convenience store one? There's two of them.
That is convenient. Okay, you may just want to answer that. We'll address that before we execute it.
Yeah, okay. Marcia, we'll get a clarification on that, but I'm pretty sure it's all for around 25,000 or so. But before we sign that, we will get an agreement on that, clarification on that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. That was moved in second?
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor of the contract? With that clarification?
I'm having a great deal of difficulty hearing you. And you're fading in and out.
We're having the same problem with you.
But I heard you're going to get clarification. Is that correct? Okay.
What?
That's correct. All those in favor, that was carried. Okay, moving on to, what do I need next? I also have a proposal and agreement for getting the convenience store operational as well from First Nation Engineering. One of their personnel, Warren Salt, is going to take the lead on that. He's had experience in that. And there's an agreement amount there for 18,000 or something.
What was that last 13 plus 8?
13 and 5.
What was that last part, Chief?
We're dealing with the contract from First Nations Engineering to complete the convenience store.
18 total.
And this is for 18,000. All the equipment is basically there. We just have to go through the process of identifying suppliers and ordering the supplies and stocking the operation. Plus, he's going to help with the job descriptions and the necessary operational manuals and the training on the point of sales machine, etc.
I'll move it.
Moved by Ron, a second, please.
I'll second it.
Second by Lyle. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. That's carried. So, I think that's all I need there, eh?
Mhm.
On 5.2, political advisor update. I'm looking at, for the services within my area here, within my office, is to engage the services of Lucille Kiwiash, and I'm looking at finalizing those negotiations. We've come to terms on to a 6-month contract, and we'll see how that goes. And when I have that document, I'll supply it to the rest of you. That's an update. Somebody trying to talk? Marcia, were you trying to say something?
Yeah, it's difficult because you keep fading in and out, and I'm only getting part of what you're.
Okay, we're gonna check some audio here. I never had so much fun in my life. Hang on, we're gonna see if Alicia can get us our connectivity a little better. She's gonna go around? Yeah, she's gonna check. All right. See, she's talking and we can't hear her.
She's muted now.
Oh. Yes, Valerie?
Oh, Valerie's muted too.
Oh.
I think you can unmute them, Charles. You just have to try clicking that mute button next to their name on the right-hand side.
Which one do I want? Isn't there one to unmute them all?
Oh, you'll get feedback if you do that.
Okay. Where is Marcia?
Oh, here we go. So you have to scroll up.
Okay.
Submerged up in the. Huh.
What's this doing? Yeah.
Derek must have put it back to himself.
Cody, I can't really hear anybody. Should we meet at the arena and sit wait for the park? I like Cody's suggestion. At least on you. You didn't publish the closed one.
Oh,
So I'll publish it now.
okay, yeah.
And see.
I think we had that was, I didn't have that option,
Oh, really?
but
Okay.
publish the closed one.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right, because I don't recall it popping up on the screen.
oh, okay. Yeah, it's usually open on this phone, closed.
Right, right.
Huh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna check, I'll check into it next time.
Okay. Well, is everybody wired up improperly? Got a reaction. I can't hear anybody. Everybody's on mute now. Where's our operator? Ron, can you unmute?
Excuse me, what'd you say there, Chief?
You unmuted, good. No, I was gonna let you take the lead here with the next series of agenda items with the report from Chad, and I think there was a requirement for the approval of a letter of resignation and some other things that are necessary, I guess.
Yeah, so we have the Chief of Police's report dated January 12th, 2021. And I asked him to format and have a full report on what we have and what we don't have within our police force, just so it kind of brings some of us up to speed on what we have and what we don't have. There's been some issues over the holidays. As you're aware, there's been police out here, and then we had the outbreak of COVID. 2 officers testing positive for COVID, and then also the whole police force, due to the COVID outbreak policy for the OPP, as we're administered by the OPP, the office had to be shut down. So OPP had to cover our calls for service out here on Walpole and patrol. So anyways, the Chief of Police's report dated January 12th, 2021, staffing, the Walpole Island Police Service officer complement is 10 full-time permanent officers and 1 full-time contract officer. That brings to 11. This consists of, with the Chief of Police as the supervisors, and 10 constables. We are currently running with 9 officers, and we have recruit in training. We have 1 full-time contract administrative assistant, and we have 5 part-time jail guard positions and 1 part-time custodian. There is a resignation of an officer. Constable Jacobs has resigned and accepted another position, another police service closer to his home. There is also an first class or constable that has been sent to Elmer and then to Aurelia. So they've been recruited. Her name's Bailey Sands, a female officer, and she's finishing up her OPC in Aurelia, and she'll be ready to go, I believe, in March. So there was, I guess, outstanding reports on Bailey in OPC from all her sergeants and teachers at the college. She's done an outstanding job. I guess she's platoon leader. And they're recommending that we might bring her on full time once we process Constable Jacobs and accept his resignation. And then it also goes into occurrences here in from January 2020 to December 2020 in a bar graph. And it shows you how many calls per month there are, which seem to be quite high at most times, no less than 150 calls a month. So that roughly puts you almost around 3,000 calls, 2,800 to 3,000 calls a year, which has been a historic number. It, however, doesn't tell the Lambton or Chatham-Kent OPP in their calls as well. And that's something that we would have to do separately. Tells the occurrences. I guess it kind of tells some of the officers and duties, I guess, that are on there. Then there's a historic one, 2015 to 2020, and it shows how we went up and then down and then back up again. We're going back up, we're trending upward. And there's a resignation letter from Constable Jacobs. And then there's a BCR with wording to let Constable Jacobs resign and accept his resignation. And then there's just some letters of support from Chief of Police Chad Jacobs in regards to Bailey Sands. So I get, that's pretty much it. I don't know if there's any questions or not.
Question, Ron, are those statistics for Walpole Island only?
That's correct.
Okay.
So is there any more questions? Comments?
Shall we proceed with the VCRs?
Sure.
Okay. Can I have a mover and a seconder for one of the VCRs that Ron had mentioned? The one dealing with the resignation of Randall Jacobs. It's included in your package there as example wording.
Chief, and I'll declare conflict on that.
On this particular VCR?
Yes.
Okay. Noted for the records. I don't know where my recorder went. Well, there she is. On the other side of the wall there. So what we have here is a draft VCR, and what we'll do is draft it to tweak it, I guess, to accommodate our needs with the appropriate dates and stuff like that. Can I have a mover and seconder for it? Moved by Elaine, second by?
Nobody's second.
I need a seconder.
I'll second.
Second by Marcia. All those in favor?
Aye.
The VCR is carried. And that confirms the resignation of Randall Jacobs from the Walpole Island Police Force. What is this one? Teresa. You see that?
It's on the police report.
Next.
Oh, in the VCR.
Yeah, there's another VCR there. I don't know if that's relevant to us. Walpole Island First Nation Police Constable. We have one that was on for temporary duty.
The VCR is to acknowledge that Bailey Sands would be moved to that full-time permanent position.
There is a VCR for that, isn't it?
That was 2005.
That's old news. Ron, is that the appropriate process?
Yeah.
It doesn't require a VCR?
For
the appointment of Bailey Sands?
yes, it does require a BCR.
So I'll read it out here real quick while we're all listening. It is the recommendation of Chief of Police Chad Jacobs that Bailey Sands be given the full-time permanent position. Bailey Sands received outstanding reports from her OPC training, her instructors, and was made the OPP recruit class leader. It is unheard of that a First Nation constable has been made class leader of an OPP recruit class. This shows she has made some leadership characteristics about her. Bailey would be the only female officer with the Walpole Island Police Service, and this will be a big role for her to fill. She won't only be policing her community, but she will be a big role model to all the young ladies in the community who will be able to look up to her as a female to talk to when they have problems and when they're not comfortable with opening up to a male officer. If Chief and Council agrees with this recommendation, a BCR will be required stating that.
Okay.
Well, we can do it all in one or wait. I'm good with it.
Wait to see if Inez has a draft BCR there for our consideration.
Chief, point of clarification. I understand Bailey would still be subject to probationary period, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Is there any draft BCRs that address that?
No, I wasn't forwarded this information.
Oh, you weren't? Okay.
No.
All right. Okay. Nobody has a draft in their packaging?
It's what he read, it's here in the brief.
I know that there, but there's no BCR format.
But we can make one and circulate it later.
Okay. Here's what I propose. I'll propose a resolution. Be it resolved that the Walpole Island First Nation appoints Bailey, what's her last name? Zands to the position of First Nation Constable to serve the Walpole Island First Nation. And that she would be subject to all the necessary training and probationary period that is required of the position.
I'll move that.
Okay.
Second.
Moved by Tyler, second by Ron. All those in favor? And what we'll do, we'll have Inez put together the proper wording for signature and attach it to the minutes. Include it in the minutes, rather. Great, good. That was carried, right? Speak to that one. Is that it, Ron? Can I have a motion to accept Ron's report from Chad there and the requirements as identified from the Walpole Island Police Service? Move by. Ron, you want to move your own report?
I'll move it. I'll move.
Sure, I'll move it.
Was that Burton?
Yeah, I'll move it.
Lee, was it Lee?
Moved by Burton, second by Lee. All those in favor?
All right.
That's carried. All right.
All right.
Moving on to,
Marcia and Cody, I believe, lost connection.
I forgot to get approval on my report, isn't it?
Your report was the gas station?
You did get approval on
My overall report, the chief's report.
Right. It was just a gas station item.
Gas station and convenience store.
Right, yes.
Okay, the other side. Okay, well.
We stopped doing that for a while.
All right, we're up to Director of Operations report.
Okay.
Okay, James.
So rather than go through each of the emergency control group minutes in detail, in summary, since November 18th, cases have been relatively low in the community and relatively low in southwestern Ontario up until the holiday 2-week closures. And during that period, as many of us are aware, cases have risen dramatically throughout the province, and positive COVID-19 cases are now increasing at a faster rate than they have since the beginning of the pandemic. So this is the fastest rate.
But not here.
Not in our community. We're still doing relatively well within the community. The province is taking steps to address the rising cases that are having a local impact, despite slightly lower rate within neighboring counties. And part of that impact is neighboring hospitals are starting to send patients to the local hospitals because of overflow in Windsor, Essex, and London. So what we are proposing, and we can formalize this in the emergency control group tomorrow would be a partial closure of WIFIN programs similar to what occurred in March 2020. And what that would look like, and this is consistent with an announcement made by the province this afternoon. And in that announcement, there's an order for all places of employment to have their employees work from home except when absolutely necessary. And we're proposing, for the sake of safety, to put something similar in place. So that would look like this. All programs would work from home except for finance, OW, the health center, social services, and the women's shelter. And in those cases, we may look at rotating shifts or other means to mitigate risk. We would have managers access their office at least once a week to support finance and other functions. And we would also have some limited functions in the field for public works, housing, and community Wi-Fi. And so that would come into effect until further notice as we continue to monitor COVID cases in the surrounding communities, our own community, and the provincial regulations. So we would just look for approval for information purposes for this group of emergency control group minutes, unless you have any questions about the proposed partial closure of WIFIN programs.
James,
Yes.
are you going to give an update about the school?
I can. So at this time, the elementary school is closed until further notice. In Ontario, in-person class instruction has resumed in Northern Ontario, but in lockdown areas that were formerly in lockdown before Christmas, school closure has been extended until February 10th. The province is going to reevaluate on January 20th whether they extend the elementary school closure in the rest of Southern Ontario. So we will continue to monitor that, but at this time, the elementary school will be closed until further notice. We have deployed electronics to students in the various classes and are pushing various means of digital learning as much as we have so far. So we're transitioning to that mode. So there's a blended mode where there's still the option for picking up hard copies of work, but that digital option is now in place. It's been in place for a while for the grade 4s and above, and we've deployed the devices for the other grades in our.
Me and Marcia are out of the meeting here. We're losing out on discussion and everything. We can't find.
Cody and Marcia lost connectivity again. They couldn't hear anything that was being said.
Okay, Alicia's going to check on that.
Okay, but in general, our school is closed for in-person instruction until further notice.
Okay, I have a question about that, James.
Mm-hmm.
For those students that don't have Wi-Fi, I forget who it is it the lower grades that are getting packages up to grade 4, and then the ones from 5 to 8 are getting online?
Correct. Although we've recently deployed devices to those younger grades as well.
Oh, okay. So everybody has devices, but the only thing now is the internet service.
Yeah.
So because it's a problem, is there anything that is going to be done within the next week or so, so those students don't start falling behind? Because I know that one day I seen so many posts on Facebook that parents were getting disgusted because their internet kept going off. So I think it's really causing a problem for those students that are only on Walpole Wi-Fi. So I'm just wondering if what's going to happen and what are you doing to address that concern?
Sure. Really, the only thing we can do in the short term is verify to make sure that we're receiving the full allotment of bandwidth, since we did double our bandwidth within the last few months. And based on Lewis's investigation, that we may not be seeing the benefit of that. So we're going to have our provider Next Dimension investigate that over the next week. And that should put us in a position where we can offer better bandwidth packages and increase the service. That's really the only short-term option we have that's going to impact the majority of families in a positive way.
Yes, it should be. Now it's taking up your whole screen, so you have to. And we're.
Oh,
Any additional
sorry,
questions?
James,
Yes.
what is that date again for the schools to reconsider what's going to happen with the opening of the schools? What was that date again?
January 20th.
Okay,
Now,
January 20th.
I got an email from the director of where I work at, stating that February 10th, all provincial schools are to be shut down. Will we be following that same protocol? I'm sorry if you may have mentioned that before. I got kicked out of the Zoom meeting here. I just got back in.
The information to us, and this is only elementary schools, was that there hadn't been a decision made until the review in January 20th, except for certain regions that were in lockdown before Christmas. So that's primarily the GTA and Windsor Essex.
Yeah, so I was just wanted to confirm what was sent to you. So yeah, that is for the Windsor Essex area for February 10th. But I was just wondering what was heard by you and what was acknowledged from this.
We weren't given a final answer on that, but we were told the answer would come January 20th.
Thank you.
I just have a.
Oh, geez.
Oh. I just have a question.
Yes?
I hear echo.
Okay, go ahead, Valerie.
Okay, I'm just
I think it's
wondering.
Elaine. I think it's Elaine.
Oh,
Thanks, Elaine.
yeah, this is getting really bad.
Okay, you're all set.
Okay. Cody keeps messaging that he can't hear, and probably Marcia, I guess, as Ron stated, can't hear what's going on. So can they be moved to a different room real quick, or so that they can hear? Or is that going to fix the problem?
Don't know.
Maybe if Felicia and Derek, you want to look at some options.
I can hear
now. Maybe another moves to the Potawatomi room, just somewhere where they can hear. There might be room just outside our office if they keep if they don't turn on the volume of their device.
Okay. All right. Can we take a short break then while you do that?
I can hear you now, Valerie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's take a 10-minute break. Get something to drink, cup of coffee and sandwich.
Yeah, try and get a better connection.
Get a better connection.
Can you hear me?
Hear you now.
Oh.
You're back just in time for us to go on break.
Yeah. When do we start our meeting?
I'll have a sandwich.
Could I make a suggestion that we get headphones or headsets for everyone so they have their own plug-in and they have a microphone right to them?
I do agree, Kyla. That would be ideal.
Hi, Kyla.
Hi.
I want a coffee, but I gotta wear my mask at the same time.
You're on mute.
Hi, Kyla.
Elaine.
It's me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. So when on? Microphone is on.
I called you.
It's because his volume is up.
Oh.
It's doing that.
How's that? That's good. There. Now you're no more feedback.
We're back in play.
So, you want me to finish my report?
Yeah. Did you have a copy of the Lucille contract?
I did. It's uploaded now.
Okay.
Something had happened and they're checking with iCompass where neither Inez or Alicia had access to publish the closed agenda. So I published it and sent out a link.
Okay.
So if you refresh that, you'll be able to see it.
Oh, will I?
Yeah.
How did I get in there?
Just press enter.
Oh. Voila. That's beautiful. Well, go ahead and right up here, political advisor.
So if you scroll up to the top of this, or
It's not
is there a
there.
refresh button somewhere up there?
Right here?
Yeah, that's it.
I'm back at my office and I can hear everyone good.
Great.
Where you going?
Kingstown.
Where you going?
Just sit at my desk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I can hear everything good. I just won't be able to respond. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, what's going on here? So now.
So there it is.
Okay, all right. We can revisit that then. Get that approved. What was the rate anyway? Refresh me.
Yeah. There.
Just bring it up as another item in your report.
Okay, sure.
Okay. I'll make sure I recall this. That's the standardized form, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, $500 a day. Up to 20,000.
That's reasonable, huh? You want to do that for 6 months?
Yep.
We'll assess it after that. I don't see the 500.
Well, keep scrolling down to Schedule B.
I see you already signed it. So. I'm gonna approve James's contract here. Yeah, I see, okay. The only other condition would be number 4. Subject to a 6-month review or something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You gotta keep it off until you do it starts.
Finish up the emergency item?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, we're ready to begin. We're reconvening. Go ahead, James.
So just to finish up the program closure, I think I forgot to mention that another program we'll keep in the field would be community Wi-Fi. And we plan to recommend that the daycare be closed. And these would be effective Thursday. Okay. So what I would ask council to do, because the previous council on March 19th passed a motion authorizing me the authority to close programs due to COVID-19. And I'm asking council to reaffirm that decision made in March 19th, just so that it's clear that I have that ability once it's reviewed by the Emergency Operations Control Group tomorrow.
I'll make that motion.
Let's move by Burton. A second, please.
Lane,
Second by Cody.
Oh, Cody's got it.
All those in favor?
Yep.
That's carried. Okay.
Okay, so is it okay if I move on to the COVID-19 action plan?
Yep.
So the COVID-19 action plan was approved by the COVID-19 action plan task force on the Friday before the holiday closure. And then it was implemented by the Emergency Operations Control Group on Wednesday. What it is a color-coded system similar to the provinces that ranges from green to lockdown phase, which we're currently in now. And it's very similar to the province. There's some local considerations, namely it names hunting and guiding as well as tagowning are a couple local considerations. So it's been implemented in that manner with the understanding that it would be officially approved by council at the next available meeting, which is today. So we're just looking for council approval for the COVID-19 action plan.
Can I have a mover and seconder for that?
I'll move it.
Moved by Burton, a seconder, please. Second by Cody. All those in favor?
All right.
That's carried.
The next item is a recommendation from Home and Community Care that's doing most of the coordination of Jordan's Principle at this time. And the recommendation is that Chief and Council approve an allocation for bridge funding for Jordan's Principle in the amount of $500,000. And this would allow us to provide members with services and apply to Jordan's Principle with the expectation that we would apply for reimbursement and recoup that money at a later date. So we did have that in place in the past, but we currently do not. This is for council's consideration.
500,000 before? Or was it 50,000 before?
I believe it was 50,000 before.
Why the difference?
Well, I had that discussion with Daniel, and it's really up to council. So there had been some discussion in the past about moving it up to 500,000. It was before I came on board, so I wasn't completely familiar with that discussion, but it would be up to council.
Okay.
I think 50,000 would cover the majority of smaller requests.
That would take us to the end of the fiscal year, anyways.
It should.
Yeah. Okay.
Question?
Marcia?
The intent of bridge funding was for emergent situations. It was 50,000. And it was based on an already approved application by the government. So to get the services quicker for the family, that 50,000 was established. There's a lot of administrative work that administering this $50,000. It was supposed to be by purchase order, which we were monitoring at Jordan's Principle. And then the band finance was to seek the reimbursement from the government to replenish that 50,000. I don't know if that was done. So if it hasn't been done, there's money sitting there that could be recovered. So the issue as I saw it was because the government was taking so long once approval to get services and products to family. There was also that large gap in waiting time for the families from application to approval. And James, I saw your information that the government said they agreed they were delinquent in that area, but that they had shortened that to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, we're just if we're going to put $500,000 into this pot, but if the government shortened their time frame to 6 weeks, we shouldn't need to access bridge funding, correct?
Yes, and that's why I would suggest that we have a conversation with the appropriate level in government so that we can ascertain whether we're comfortable with their service standards, because that could have changed since the last time I spoke with them. That was in the fall.
Because this is a court-ordered initiative. The government must follow the court order. And the reason I asked for that bridge funding is we had a life-saving operation that had to be done. It was a young child for dental surgery. And that was at a hefty cost, so we were able to use that. In those cases, I agree, bridge funding is required. But the government has a responsibility here.
So why don't we set up that meeting, Marcia, and then we can revisit that if we feel that there's still concerns. Is that fair?
I'm in agreement to have a meeting before we tie up $500,000.
Yeah, I have some concerns, I guess, in terms of that large of amount. That's $500,000 that we would tie up, and to me, it seems a bit excessive. Quick question, did we ever recoup the initial $50,000 that we had in bridge financing?
I got canned before we were able to do that, Chief.
So that's still outstanding out there?
As far as I know.
Yes.
So we still got to pursue that. We got a good reason to talk to them then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so unless there are any further comments, I'll move on to the next item.
Do we need anything approved there?
I don't think so. I think we
Okay.
can table that.
Will be subject to, that item will be tabled and it'll be subject to further negotiation then? Go ahead.
Okay, so there were a number of housing items. They'll be coming at the next meeting, but this one I felt was priority. And this is to service the elevator in the Algonquin. There's a 10-week service standard for completion, so the earlier the better. So I'm submitting this for council approval in the amount of $81,500 to upgrade the elevator at the seniors complex.
Did you just go to one estimate?
Now we could, my understanding is they've been using the same service for some time.
Okay.
And yeah, so.
And it keeps on breaking down?
Well, this should prevent that for the foreseeable future. So it's really a matter of, once we make this investment in this upgrade, we won't have the constant servicing.
Something with the hydraulics or what?
It is the hydraulics and it's older technology. So it's past its lifespan.
All right.
I have a question, James.
Mm-hmm.
Is that coming out of band funds, or is that housing take care of that?
It is located within the housing department.
Do they have the budget for it?
I will have to review that. I'm not entirely sure, but so I can certainly review in terms of whether it would put them in a deficit for this fiscal year. There's a number of renovation items where they are under budget.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't matter. The band has to fix it anyways.
But we have to fix it anyway.
Yeah,
It's affecting the seniors.
We'll find the appropriate account for it.
Chief, I have a question.
Yes.
Is this the existing elevator shaft? And has there been any consideration to build it at the other end of the building, a bigger one that gurneys can actually fit in?
I don't think that has been part of the discussion, but this is an emergency situation.
We could look into that. I think the situation now is it's continually breaking down. So it's out of service intermittently. So we could pause this to see if there's another design option. I'm sure that would be at a much higher cost.
Well, yeah, there would be a higher cost, but I'm okay with the emergency thing with the existing shaft. But if there's somebody that's needing a stretcher or something like that, we don't want to wait till the rigor mortis sets in before we move them down the smaller elevator shaft, you know. Anyway, that's the concern. I don't want to hold up the existing process, though.
You're correct. I think we will go with the immediate approval and look at an additional option to either increase the size of this one or look at identifying an additional shaft that will accommodate the emergency equipment.
Just comment on format of briefing information. I think it's really to be diligent in our responsibilities regarding financial oversight, that when we receive these briefing notes, there should be information in there as to where this money is coming from. If it's putting housing in a deficit, then that's something we will absorb because it's a health and safety issue. But I see these types of briefing notes as incomplete when they don't have all the information there.
That's a very good point there. Yep, I've observed that too, that we approve funding, but we don't even approve or identify the account where the money's coming from.
Yeah, and that's why I asked.
Yes.
James is committed to fixing that.
Yes.
Okay, good. Do you need a motion for that?
For the elevator, yes.
I'll make the motion.
I'll
Okay.
second that.
Yeah.
Second by Lyle, it's moved by Valerie, second by Lyle to proceed with the elevator repairs at the Algonquin as in the amount quoted and to come from housing, and any additional funds would come from own source revenue. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried. Next item.
Okay, so my next items are in camera. Do we want to go in camera and then come out of camera for the?
How do we go in camera?
We've been in camera or out of
How
camera.
do we go in? We got staff wandering around here.
I'm going to depart, so Wamapi, have a good evening.
Motion in camera, he's gonna cut the fee.
Okay, so should we deal with the amendments then before we go into camera?
Yeah.
Are we supposed
to hear from Kyla?
So that's 7.11.
Before we go to camera, we're going to go down to 7.11 on our agendas and deal with some quick amendments to funding agreements.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, the first amendment is to provide COVID-19 pandemic funding in the amount of $248,000 for the current fiscal year. And so we would circulate this for signatures and
Does it need a mover and
needs a
seconder?
motion.
Yeah. Can I have a mover or seconder for the amendment? Moved by?
I'll move.
Moved by
I'll move,
Valerie.
Val.
Seconder?
I'll second it.
Second by
I'll second
Lee. All those in favor? That is carried. Okay, next one.
Okay, the second is an amendment in the amount of $75,000 for COVID-19 related renovations. We've already discussed plans and programs of how to utilize that funding. So seeking, does the motion capture both? No, we need another motion for number 10, amendment number 10.
Yeah. Can I have a mover and seconder for that amendment? Moved by Ron, second by?
I'll second it, Chief.
Second by Lyle. All those in favor? That is carried. Okay. I'll take care of those.
Motion to go on camera.
Motion to go in camera. Moved by?
I'll move.
Moved by Valerie, seconder, second by Cody. All those in favor?